Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nateanah, and this is University of Mommyin. Happy December 1st. Christmas is here. The holidays are underway. I hope you guys had a beautiful Thanksgiving. I am in full Christmas mode. Happy holidays to whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. Christmas has always been my favorite, and I go above and beyond. Before I had a child, I went above and beyond. And now that I have children, it's over. And for some, that's not their taste. And that's fine. Don't come around here killing my Christmas joy, okay? For everybody, you celebrate whatever you celebrate, however you celebrate it in your own way. For me, I love all the traditions of all the things and all the things and all the things. And that brings me to the topic for today's video. Today I want to talk about the reason for the season and limiting stress levels. So, especially as moms, I feel like we've put a lot of unnecessary pressure on ourselves to be Instagram moms, to be social media, Pinterest moms, and all these things during this time. And if that's something you love to do, great, do it. If you don't. The child is not going to miss out on, any experiences because they're probably doing the stuff at school. Also, they're not going to feel any less loved because you didn't want to make the cookies into Christmas trees. Like, if it's something you enjoy doing, do it. If you don't. And that's my number one tip for the season. If it's not bringing you joy, eliminate it. If it's something that's not necessary, like for example, if you have to go to a job that you hate, but that's your job, that's necessary. So I'm sorry, sis, bro, you're going to have to stick that out. But if you're making candy canes out of yarn because you think your child has to have that memory and it's driving you crazy, don't do it. If it brings you joy, do it. If it doesn't, don't. So I'm going to have a list of things here, just like that I'm going to just impart on all my fellow people out there. And I'm going to be talking to myself as well. Because we just put unnecessary pressure on ourselves. And it's supposed to be a time of relaxation, of enjoying our families, our loved ones, our friends, to fellowship, to be thankful and grateful for a year that's coming to an end, and really celebrating moving forward into a new year with joy, with appreciation, and with gratitude. All of the pomp and circumstance is just extra fluff to make us feel good. Like, why do I sit up and watch Christmas movies till 1:30 in the morning when I like to go to bed 10 p.m.? Because it brings me joy. For no other reason am I doing that. For no other reason. So, here we go. Number one, if it doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. Number two, and we're a little bit late for this one, but budget yourself for gifts. Don't overspend this holiday season. Something that is helpful if you have an app like Digit, or if your employer has a payroll system where you can segment funds. Like we have a payroll system where I can allocate a bucket of funds into my Christmas pot. So I have been doing that each paycheck. So now when it's time to do Christmas shopping, or I've already started doing Christmas shopping, I'm not spending the money that I'm earning like in real time. I've already put aside some funds for that reason. I know my mom, she said that she, in the beginning of the year, when she was working, she's now retired, she used to put away $100 each check. So that's $200 a month. And at the end of the month, that's her Christmas gift to herself. How smart is that? I think she, and if I'm not mistaken, 100 of it was to herself and 100 was for gifts. So, because she has 3 children. So, and she had a husband. But we don't go into that. Okay, so just budget yourself, right? Don't go crazy. Especially if you have small children, even if you have teens or grown children. Like, the older your kids get, the less it is about gifts. Like, I think about seeing and having gifts under the tree from my parents. I could care less about that really at this point. I'm more so like, I want to give them the world. I want to give them great gifts that they can use now because they've given me so much. Like, I'm not looking for a gift under the tree from my mom. Now, I am looking for a gift under the tree from my husband. But that's another story for another day. If you are a person who sends out holiday cards, start addressing your envelopes now, or entering them on your computer so that you can make labels, or, you know, just something to make it easier. Like for me, for example, I get my cards from Paper Culture. I really like the company, and I like what they stand for, and you can dedicate a tree each time that you purchase from them. So I love that, and I love what they stand for, and like eco-friendly and all that. But they have a space where you can enter in all the addresses. Now, I don't myself have a database of addresses on my computer. It's in hand form in my address book or in my phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my retired mother and aunt to type them up for me, and then I'm going to make labels from them. And that's one less thing I have to do. Rip them off, put them on an envelope, get the stamp, send it out. Another thing about stamps, with that budgeting, you can put a line item for stamps as well, because the cost of stamps goes up and up and up, and it keeps going up, and I don't understand why, because I know we're paying our taxes. So anyway, number 4, break things up. So similar to what I was talking about, like seeking out help, asking for help, but break things up. If you're someone who hosts for, Thanksgiving has already passed, but if you hosted for Thanksgiving and you know you're about to do the same for Christmas, like, break your tasks up. So, for example, this year, I'm going to get my tree this weekend, and I'm going to let it sit and drop, and I'm going to decorate the house on Sunday. And then next week, I'll decorate the tree. Like, I'm not breaking my neck and my back and my Christmas joy and stressing myself out trying to do everything in one day, or trying to do everything all at once and having it topple up. And then I get, overwhelmed. We want to be joyous. Number 5, and this is number 1 in my book. Don't be everything to everybody. If you're the host, be the host, and then you can't be Santa too. Or if you're the one who does all the decorating, maybe you don't do all the cooking. I mean, just find a way to break it up. If that's not your story, if you have to do both, ask somebody who can go Google a red velvet cake, to Google a red velvet cake and bring it this year, instead of you having to make the full dinner and the dessert and be the host, and it's too much. It's too much. Number 6, have a drink. If you don't drink, have an apple cider cocktail. Something with some fizz to just make you feel settled and relaxed, and like, you know what, let me sit down and just have me a little bubbly. Have a drink. Number 7, sit down and have a drink. Oh, gosh. Number 8 is do things gradually. Different from breaking them up, but just do things gradually. Like, for example, I'm gonna give this as an example. I have a small child. She's 4. We're going to be doing a lot of, making gingerbread houses and a lot of activities that the school has sent home and stuff like that. We're not doing that all in one weekend. We're not doing that all in one week. We're going to break it up. I'm actually going to make a calendar for her just because she's understanding more, and I feel like I want to get her really excited about things to come. So I'm going to make her a little calendar, and she'll know what we're going to do each weekend. But also, it'll give me time to rest and recoup and regroup. Number 9, and this is final for me. Remember the reason. Remember the reason why we gather. Remember the reason why we celebrate. Remember the reason why you're spending your hard-earned money to go buy gifts. It is not to say, oh, look what I got. Look what my kids got. Look, I don't like all that mom judgy banter on the internet. Oh, well, you shouldn't buy your kids all these gifts. You should travel and give them experiences and put in their college account. You do what you want to do with your money. That's how I feel about that. What I do think is important, though, is remembering the reason why. Whatever your why is because you're trying to create. For me, it's I want to create memories with my kids. I want them to, with my family, I want them to grow up and say, every Christmas we took a holiday picture in our Christmas pajamas. Or every Christmas Eve we got to open one gift. Or every Christmas my aunt and my uncle came into town and we were all together for a week's time. And like, we never get to do that all year because they live far. Those are the special things. Every year, my grandmother, flew in from Florida to be with me just so she could say she was with me on Christmas. Like, those are the things that I want my kids to hold on to. It has nothing to do with tied to any monetary gift or any of that stuff. All that stuff is fluff. So remember the reason. If you don't have a reason that you can be grateful for, remember memories. Think about how you want to remember 5 years from now. In 2022 Christmas, I spent it this way. And tie that in. And also remember that this is a hard season for a lot of people. People have lost. People have lost people. People have lost financially. People have lost emotionally, spiritually. This is a hard time for a lot of people. So for someone who's super joyous during this time like me, that is something that I remember as well. And I'm cognizant of the fact and sensitive to the fact that this is not the best time of year for everyone. But if you can spread a little joy, a little holiday joy to someone else and tell them you're praying for them, you're thinking about them, they look beautiful today, wow, that's a great smile. Those are things that really mean a lot to people who are having a hard time. So I'll leave you guys with that. This is another episode of University of Mommyin. I hope you guys like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.